Welcome back, everybody. I'd like to give a big shout out to my buddy Don't Mate. Just had his first kid today. Congratulations. It's going to be a wild ride for a little while, but you got this, man. You got this. So I just want to come back to the Saab J35XS, and I've noticed a lot of people running rockets now after I put out that video. Yep, a lot of y'all. So I'm going to show you how to do a little bit better. So this was the setup that I had shown where you can get a full base with this, mostly due to the extra rockets on the side, but I've had better consistency running the 4 rocket pods and 4 missiles, and you generally will get a kill out of the missile. And I found out really here recently you need to be within a kilometer for them to ignore flares. Less than that is much better, but hey, it's you're shooting from 2 or 3 kilometers, they're just gonna get flared off. Think of these as like just regular R60s. That's pretty much what they are in general. A little bit more flare resistant, but under a kilometer. And it's so hilarious when you get down on F-111's tail and you launch it, and no matter how many flares he puts out, you still get the kill. The other thing is getting up tiered, but hey, yeah, that's just how it goes. But yeah, been having a blast in this. And yeah, let's jump into it. So with the 2 extra missiles instead of the 8 rockets, you're faster. So on takeoff, you're going to get in front of the other J35s trying to do the same thing. You can actually catch up with some of the F4s trying to bomb. If they took a full bomb loadout, you'll get there first, you'll hit the base, and they more than likely will team kill you. That's just been the issue here lately. That's what I've been doing. Uh, it's people are grinding. The griping is supposedly confirmed. The guy that confirmed it in the forums, he's confirmed stuff before that was completely not true. So I don't know how much you look into it. This is my last game I had. I got 35,000 RP for that. Yeah, time played. Time played on a winning game matters a lot. So on a losing game, you get like maybe 2,000 for living 10 minutes. On a winning game, you get 1,000 per minute. So it's more push to actually win the match. He didn't have a full bomb loadout, but we're going to try to beat him. F-111s are notoriously fast right now. Just how it is. He doesn't have rockets. He's got bombs. So I've got to compete with an F4 and a F-111, which is fine. We're going to go to the second base over here. And we're just going to try to get to it before anybody else. Is that another bombing F4? No. It's a red fighting F4. The main competitors you're going to have will be the F4s, because they are technically faster than you. Even with only a missile loadout, they are fast. I mean, just how it is. Somebody was telling me I need to take out the AJ37, the 10.31, because it has the same bomb loadout as the 11.31. But you can do bombing runs like what we were doing in our Canard. It's not as fast, but at 10.3 you don't have to be that fast. You just have to be faster than the other guys on your team. So, more text messages every time I start trying to record. I do have, there will be another video after this one, so for those who watch this long. I've got more of a kind of, I don't want to call it a serious video, but some things that are going on here. And I'll just kind of run through it in my next video. For now, we're going to stay pretty positive in this and just go get us a base. Now, this is what you're going to experience sometimes when you're going for this base. You're going to get a head-on radar missile sometimes. You are going to dive, shoot the base, and immediately eat a F5 missile. You know, it'll be like an A9B or something. So, just be aware of that. And this will only take out 95% of the space in this loadout, or right at 90%. More than 3/4. It's just under 2,300 RP for the base alone. So, you'll get that. I think this F4 is actually firebombing. Let's see here, Gordo. This is why I pull this up a lot. F104, no, he's got the Italian premium F104, so he should not be bombing. I mean, you can if you want to grind, but hey. As you can see, we're in front of the F4E, which we want to be. I think that F5 over there is bombing. We'll go back. There's an A10 bombing, which is a lie because we've seen the F4 with his bombs and the F111. So, really wish they'd fix that someday. With this second base here, you actually need to come to the side because you see that? Hang on. See where this mountain is right here? It's actually just behind it. So, we want to go behind it, drop all of our missiles, which I have mine set to, let's see here, it needs to be shift 6. The S symbol means it's going to fire all of our rockets at once. Or should be. So we're not letting, it'll normally fire off rockets from one pod to the next. This just unloads all of them, which is what we want. Typically right about here is where you start seeing enemies. I'm not seeing anything. We don't have an RD. Yep, there's one. There's an A5. We just pray he's not turning towards us. We still have to be below Mach to be able to launch our missiles. So we're going to cut that now. Wiggle our nose a little bit because we will break our wings at the speed, which I've been finding out more and more recently. And then launch. Whee! Whew. Oh yeah, by the way, AAA can kill you. So we got a Su-25 who will be throwing out a rocket. We had to flare that off, and we'll keep moving. Yeah, you really don't want to get stuck in a head-on with one of those. But since he's fired his second skill missile, we will go back and attack him. Oh yeah, by the way, the Su-39, apparently it's 11.3 with 2 R-73s on it. And that's a Su-25. Like it's got an upgraded laser system for rockets, which is actually pretty neat. But for 11.3 battle rating, if you're going ground battles to ground pound with it, there's so much more you can take. I mean, it's just way too much. Now, that MiG-21 looks like a good target since it's chasing that F-4E. They burn hot. Now, we've got our points in for our base, 324. We don't want to hit on the MiG-21 because his are all aspect. This is the MiG Lazure right there, if I'm thinking correctly. He is going to come in on us. Let's see here. Don't know where that missile was pointed. I guess at us? I'm not sure. Maybe that first missile is for somebody behind us. Okay. So it looks like our team's getting a little bit stomped. We have 9 minutes of fuel. Typically, we'll talk more about base destroyed here in a second. Typically, at 5 minutes, you need to start heading back to base. We know the Su-25 has no more missiles. We can get above him and go right behind him and secure ourselves a kill because we are vultures. Play this as a vulture. We have IRST tracking, which means he doesn't get a lock warning whenever we lock him with the radar. Get below a kilometer, get ourselves a kill. Or in this case, the Su-25 flight model has to burn up first. Okay. Good deal. There's another Su-25. We're going to go for easy pickings. And we do want to try to stay alive as long as possible. Nope, the MiG-21 is going to come in after us. He's probably still got a couple missiles left. MiG-21s will run you down. So we're just going to keep an eye on him. What direction is our base? We're going to go to the back base, so we are pointing in the correct direction. That was one flare. We can do that 3 more times, I think. So we'll just keep an eye on him. Not too worried about where we're going right this moment. When he gets in real close, we'll do a vertical, force him to follow us into it, and try to get him to roll into our guns. There's no tracer rounds here, so there is that. We're just making slight adjustments because we want to try to get back to the airfield as quickly as possible. I think we should get there right before. We're trying to keep breaking our wings. If we get to the airfield, he will die, especially at that height. Maybe he's pulling off, maybe he's not. So we may fly around the airfield for just a minute. He's going to try to swoop down. He's going to get enough speed that he can come back down. Just like this. And he's pulling off. He was trying to get that last R60. Now, okay, on base destroyed, as you guys saw. So if nobody kills the base that you've hit, you don't get as many points. Now that somebody has actually killed the base, we get even more points. So it's this weird system Gaijin has to where they're setting up, like, hey, you damaged a base, you get 324 points. Not RP or SL, that's just the way the game mechanic is working as far as scores go. But if somebody comes and cleans up behind you, you get an additional amount as if you had destroyed it. It's not as much, but it says, hey, the base was successfully destroyed, yada, 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 that whole thing. And it gives you a pretty good chunk. Now, this is 1100 for one base and a kill. So, that's actually pretty good. Now, since we're not going to win this match at all, I'm the last one left alive, we're not going to see a bonus on the time alive. that really is only for winning matches, and it's 1,000 with the premium account. It's 1,100 points per minute. So we'll see here in just a second. We lived through that match. All right, give me my time alive. So let's see here. We'll have to pull it up in the battle report. Let's see. Ward, hanger. So we still got almost 12,000. That was for a kill, hitting a base, which somebody came in behind us destroyed. So we got a little bit more for that. But look how much for 90% of the base, 14,000 SL. Another 8,000 for the base being destroyed. And that equates into your RP. Now let's pull it up here. So time played, 6,500 on the modifier. We played for 7 minutes, 57 seconds. We lived. Now, and that's that 90%, that was your quote unquote activity timer. I'm not sure how that's ever equated. I've played matches where I've gotten no kills, fired all my missiles, chased stuff down, and only get 135 points with no activity. But if you hit one ground target, it says, hey, you flew around for 90% of the game. Here's, 5,000. But that's where your biggest RP gain is going to be from. And unfortunately, I don't know why. It's just how it is right now since the updates. I tested out my Canard, and I'm still getting more RP for a full base and possibly a kill. But this is not bad. This is almost 12,000 RP for a 7-minute match. So it's not bad. I have tried it in simulator. Simulator is only good if you're running top tier because you're anywhere from 1.0 to 12.0, or 12.3 technically, that can be brought in on those matches, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. Like you can take out the Mirage F1C because you have radar missiles, and 90% of that fighting happens with a head on, and then all aspect head on, and that's how initial kills were. Very rarely I've seen in the last couple of days I've played it that you're getting into dogfights, and if the other player has a joystick controller, you're not going to win that dogfight. I've tried it with a mouse keyboard. I just run missile boats and then turn out of there and land and all that stuff. Bombing, though, in Simulator, if you can make it there, because there's no markers for the base like in your HUD, unless you have CCRP bombing, it's very hard to hit, but it's worth the most points in there if you continuously bomb as the game's going. So I know I've spoke a lot. I do have another video coming up here, maybe later tonight. I'll talk about some more stuff going on here at the house, which good and bad right now. So I'll run y'all through that. But yeah, if you're wanting to still grind with the Saab J35XS, just take this loadout here. 4 rocket pods. It gives you 4 missiles, so you got 4 chances to get kills. Unfortunate game, I just had my team got stomped pretty early, and I did kind of afterburner a lot harder than I should have to the base because I wanted to get it. So yeah, you can get kills with it. This was a little bit more efficient grinding, and I'll show you what I've done so far. So since the last time I played it, I think I need one more vehicle purchased, and then I'll be into rank 6. And this is going to take forever. And apparently what people are telling me is I need to put a talisman on this one right here, the AJ37 Vegan. I mean, it moves at 1822, so that's pretty fast for 10.3, I think, or right around that area. Just I don't know if this bomb loadout could take out a base, but everybody seems to be swearing by it that I've talked to. I guess just take this loadout right here and go hit a target. So, does it come with flares? No, it doesn't come with flares. You'd have to use a pod. So, no flares, you're just bombing a target. So think of it as like a Su-8, which is over here. Su-7, okay. Back when this had air spawn, I grind it all the way to rank 7 with this thing. So yeah, that's how much fun that was. Let's see what other 10.3s that people can bomb with the Su-17. This one is faster, okay? Much better bomb loadout, but hey, we're grinding with Sweden. Trying to get to that griping, guys. Trying to get to it. I'm still surprised their top tier is only 11.3, but I've talked enough. I've rambled on. It's just another way to grind. I really wish they had a bomber. I actually thought about the A32 at least to get through this, but then I look at it like you're 9.0. You move decently fast. Secondary weapons, you could take out a base, I guess. So, I guess some flare pods, hit a base, keep going. I'll think about it. Just depends on what mood I am in. Wow, it's got a really nasty look with a premium count that has an 1100 reward percentage. Wait a second, I'm running a 10%, I think. Okay, yeah, I still have 10% going. Ignore that. All right, guys, until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.